Okay. Hi, guys. I must confess you something. This is my very first English speech, so please give me another round of applause. Thank you. Also because I'm hearing my own voice through the speakers, and trust me, it's terrible. By the way, today I'm here because I'm going to talk about design ops, and how we redesign our internal organization to work better, faster, and happily. So, first of all, it doesn't work. Okay, works. First of all, of course, I'd like to introduce a little bit of myself. I am Simone, UI designer at Beyond, one of the tribe of Intro Group, but I'm going to talk about that in a minute. I'm 45, and I come from Verona, which, in my humble opinion, is the most beautiful city in the world. And for those of you who have never visited Verona, sorry guys, you have to know that it's famous basically all over the world for three things. The arena, of course. Romeo and Juliet. In fact, Verona is called the city of love. And last, but not least, Germano Mosconi. Thank you. So, I'm working at the Intro Group, as I said, which is a consultancy company that ideates, designs, and develops digital products and services with people needs and preference firmly in mind. And what is important to highlight is that we are a full remote consultancy company. And as we have multiple expertise, we are organized in tribes, and each tribe is focused on one area of expertise. But when needed, we join forces to work together on projects. And I am part of Beyond the Tribes, which is the area focused on UX UI, service design, business design, and data digital marketing. And Beyond was born in 2021. There were 9 people at that time. Today, there are 20 of us. But from September 2021 to April 2022, we grew up by 70%. So 17% in less than a year. And I'm telling you this not only because it's cool, of course, but because this fast growth in very short time led us to a number of challenges. And back then, we started the habit of doing monthly retrospectives, and each time we had to reply to these very simple questions. And as you can see, the score was low. Nothing dramatic, but not so good. And this made us think about it. Why is the rating so low? And how can we fix it? Spoiler, you can't solve a problem without understanding where it stands. So we led some internal interviews to discover the reason for such a low ratings, and we took out these conclusions. So lack of guidelines. So for example, when a designer joined an ongoing project, he or she wasn't able to understand how the files were organized because there were no guidelines at all. Wasted time and effort. So we were spending a lot of time recreating design assets, so solving the same old problem, basically. Communication breakdowns. So we were using different tools to communicate with each other, with no rules, of course, and this led us to misalignment, misunderstandings, and delays in project deliveries. Silhouette design practices, because at that time, collaboration and knowledge sharing weren't coming out easy. So we are getting used to work in isolations, limiting our exposure to a different perspectives, and there was no feeling of being part of a team, and of course, being a full remote company, it wasn't helping. Limited professional development, so it was hard to keep learning and stay up to date and grow up professionally. And last, the classic hard collaboration with developers, because we were facing difficulties collaborating with developers, but you know it, everything, because everybody knows. So these are the problems, and I am sure 100% sure that some one of you faced some of these issues once in your lifetime. Isn't it true? Maybe more than once. And once we had these issues in front of us, we realized how bad we wanted to enhance our operational efficiency, foster collaborations, and deliver better design outcomes that meet both user needs and business goals. So back to 2022, we asked ourselves, how might we scale these challenges into synergy? Have you ever heard about DesignOps? Do you know what is it? Raise your hand if you know, if you already heard. So only a few, not so many. Okay. So according to Norman, DesignOps is the orchestration and optimization of people, processes, and craft in order to amplify design's value and impact at scale. And its goal is to ensure the design team becomes a well-oiled machine, functioning at high efficiency and generating high-quality design outputs. So DesignOps is a term, a collective term for addressing challenges such as growing, finding, creating, improving. And what do I mean with that? So I mean growing and evolving design teams, finding and hiring people with the right skills, creating efficient workflows, and improving the quality and impact of design outputs. So basically, it sounded like it was the perfect solution to reach our goal. And to do that, we decided to introduce some little practice that I'm going to show you right now. So first, very simple, but very important. We added to the calendar 2 recurring moments, the Monday stand-up and the Friday greetings. So on Monday, we meet up virtually at the beginning of the day to tell our colleague what we are working on, what we'll be working on during the week. And if a new project comes in, we also spend a few more words to explain better what is it. And this is important for us to know what our colleagues are working on, because this helps us to feel part of a team and not only a bunch of teeny tiny freelancers. On the other hand, on Friday, we meet up at the end of the day, we joke a little bit, we say thank you, we talk about the weekend to come. So small gestures and human interactions. This is what it really takes to build up a team. Going on, we went gone by mapping our skills. So the team consists of UX UI designer, service designer, data digital marketing specialists, and product owners as well. And for each group, we created a specific framework listing all the main skills each group should master. So each member went through a self-evaluation. Then the rest of the team was called to make their assessment. And you can see an average result here. And this is important for us because to understand how our colleagues evaluate our expertise, and at the same time, it gave us back a clear view of our personal skills. And this chart can be used in 3 ways. So to see what skills or area could be improved, to see how we fit in with our colleagues. So, for example, according to the project, the project team can be immediately made by those most qualified to complete all the tasks and minimize the turnaround. And last, to see where we have shortcomings as a team and what kind of new professional we want to bring on board. And mapping our skills helped us to build up chapters. What are chapters? Who knows? So chapters basically are a group of people with the same skill set. So, for example, I belong to the UX UI chapter where we meet and exchange ideas, get help on challenges, and talk about new technologies or guidelines to follow to optimize our work. So it's a new way to promote innovation, collaboration, and contamination between people. There is a role of chapter leader, of course, who is the line manager for chapter members, and they are responsible for organizing the meetings and being sure the chapter goals are met. But we all know that heavy is the head that wears the crown, so they are still part of the team and perform day-to-day work for projects. for clients. And there is also a role of coach, because the whole tribe and this goal are coordinated by a coach. And maybe it's something different from other companies, because its role is to promote synergy and collaboration from members from different chapters within the tribe. So she provides mentorships, guidance for a different group of people, encouraging their growth and their overall development. And about this last point, to enhance our team skills, to increase the resource retention, we also created a specific training path built around the personal interest of each team member. So this training path consists of where the person wants to be in 12 months, and is divided in 4 quarterly blocks. And at the end of each block, we check the plan, we evaluate the progress, we make any necessary adjustments. And this is so important for us, first of all, because we can keep learning, improve our skills, improve our methodology, and learn about new technologies. And this is important for the company as well, because a company grows only if people grow. So there are many benefits, apparently, organizing a team in chapters. Here are the most important ones. So knowledge sharing, because chapter can provide a forum for members to share their ideas and best practices. And this can help to improve the overall quality of the team's works and make decisions about guidelines to follow. So collaboration. Coach can help to foster collaboration between members from different areas, and this can lead to more innovative and creative solutions and to create a close-knit team. Mentorship and trainings. Chapter leaders and coach mentor people. And they both together with each team member set up the training path to follow, improving the skills where we are lacking or reinforce those we feel comfortable with. Professional development. So chapters can help people to stay up to date on the latest trends in technologies. And last, sense of community. So chapters can help to create a sense of community and boosting the mood and productivity. Going on. So these are the main benefits. Is just a little recap for you guys. So double CSC. This is funny. Okay. So at some point we realized that Monday stand-up was not enough, not anymore. So we created a bi-weekly one-to-one shuffle calendar where pairs are randomly selected. So the pair is responsible for organizing a meeting where they can explain to each other what they are working on. And we call it the double CSC, or CCSC in Italian, because we were looking for a name, but unfortunately, we didn't come up with anything cool. So still today, we are calling it like that. That means come cazzo si chiama. Thank you. And this activity is crucial in building a culture of mutual exchange in a fully remote company like us, because individuals often work on different projects, and we are unfamiliar with others' assignments and passion too. Last step, tools. So we decided which software to use, and for each of them, we created guidelines to follow. So for example, we choose Miro for creating our user flow, blueprint, mapping in general. So we created a color agenda for the post-it, and we also created a template for user flow and for the blueprint as well. And in order not to waste time repeating the same old tasks, such as the creation of standard components, we also created a Figma UI kit template to use in our project libraries. So, for example, when a new project starts, we can directly copy the component we need from this kit template and change the styles according to the brand identity of the customers. And inside this kit template, we decided all the nomenclature about pages, color styles, text styles, and we also decided how to rename the components and how to manage their variants. So in this way, every project has its own file, and they have the same structure. So if a new designer comes, enter in, join this project, an ongoing project, he or she immediately knows how to move inside this file because they have the same structure. So just to recap, at the beginning we saw there was some dissatisfactions among team members and the reason they caused it. We tried to develop some solutions, and of course we kept doing our monthly retrospectives, and this is the score today. So apparently, thank you. So apparently we are happier, we work better, there is more synergy within the team, and we are getting results in less time than before. But this doesn't stop us, because as we evolve as a business, we evolve as our measures. So we recently improved our communication, so we added some new stuff for you. So communication improvements, we are still testing it. This is the last improvement we made. So the goal here was to avoid bottlenecks, loss of information, and to interrupt people, the works people, only when strictly necessary. So we try to develop some rules, for example, about chats. Every project has its own dedicated chat with a specific nomenclature. And we invite inside this chat only the people we need. At the beginning of the project, the product owner set the roles for each team member inside this chat. We use a mention to communicate with one or more people inside the team, and we ensure they get a notify. And we also use the tag all to important wider communication. And at the end of the day, inside this chat, we send a recap with the task performed and the task to complete, and also any doubt or block. And about the meetings, we invite to the meetings only people that are necessary. Every meeting must last a maximum of 1 hour, unless it is necessary to work together. In the invitation, we set the title of the project and the goal of the meeting. At the beginning of the meeting, there will be an intro by the product owner telling the agenda and the expected outputs of the meetings. And the most important ones, during the meeting, we keep the focus and mute the other chats, maybe. So at the end of the meeting, we send a recap with the decision made, and via chat or via email if the client is also involved. And about the repository, I make a little spoiler for you. About the repository, we choose a Confluence by Atlassian for this, and every project has its own space when we collect the transcription of all meetings, and we also attach the documents if necessary, of course. So, what's next? It is necessary to try to improve your methodology, to test new ideas, to validate and to change. Because a structure of a company is dynamic, it's like an organism. And likewise, guidelines and solutions must be ready for change. So the vision and the values of a company are like a lighthouse. They stay there to indicate the route. But however, to reach the final goal, you would need to take into account a lot of factors that might force your strategy to change, and you have to be ready to improve your methodology while keeping an eye straight to your lighthouse. So When a consultancy company grows as fast as we did, you need to change the rule of sharing and the corporate culture in order to maintain the same vision and the same values. So this will be our challenge for the near future, to maintain this synergy and to try to improve it further. Thank you. I would like to thank all my wonderful workmates that helped me to make these presentations. And if you want to deepen the topic, there is an Italian Slack channel, DesignOps Italia. And if you want, you can contact me afterwards or make some questions now if you want. Thank you. Sponsor.
Are there any questions for Simone? Okay, I see many questions.
Thank you. My question is about, like, you were sharing something about this skills mapping, and it was this very nice map. And I was wondering if you could share how you do this mapping, or if you're using some tools for it that could be helpful.
But there is a lot of frameworks you can find online of these maps, also on LinkedIn. But basically, you're listing the main skills each group should master. So if you are a UX designer, you know what skills you have to be a UX designer. Then you make your self-evaluation from 0 to 5 or from 0 to 10, or whatever you want.
Thank you.
Okay.
Hi, thanks so much. I have a question about the last bit you showed about the improvements in communication. And I was wondering, do you have like a specific person on your team which makes sure that like these rules are followed, or that, you know, everything is working like you want it to work? Or is it more like a distributed responsibility? And how are your experiences so
Okay,
far?
we are still testing it, but basically the product owners of the project are responsible for making these rules. We are following these rules. So the product owners is responsible for it. Okay.
Yeah, we have room for one more question.
Regarding the skill maps, you did only the self-evaluation, or you did also approve with another validation from other people?
Yes, you make a self-evaluation, and then
yes.
the other people make the evaluation.
Okay, so
and then there is an average result.
Cross-evaluation. A cross-evaluation, basically.
Yes,
okay.
It's a cross-evaluation. But we saw that there was a match. There was always a match in voting.
Because you didn't cheat.
Yes, but, yes.
Thank you.
But also because I tend to underestimate myself and my colleagues in the opposite. So then you make an average, and that's okay.
My experience was the complete opposite, so that's why I was asking.
It depends on the person, of course.
Yeah. And the culture.
The culture.
Thank you.
Very nice. Thank you very much for all the